Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo.
On this episode of the History of the Course podcast with Curtis and Josh, we continue our Canadian invasion by taking a look at the band known as Alexisonfire. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at IsSurvivedByPro for news and the latest episode postings. And make sure to subscribe to the show, leave us a 5-star review, and write us a comment on YouTube or whatever podcast service you're using. Make sure to check us out on TikTok and give us a follow at IsSurvivedByProductions. And if you'd like to see us do some live streams, leave us a comment or tweet us the keyword stream. Now, without further ado, let's start the show.
The devil is in Atlanta, army surrounded.
Alrighty, this one is from our hearts. Sincerity over simple chords. Yeah, we made some mistakes. I know, we've made some mistakes. But hey, it's a long time coming when you're giving it everything. Welcome back to the History of the Chords podcast, where each and every episode we take a look at the history of a band from the core genre. I'm Curtis. And with me, as always, is my co-host, the one, the only, Josh. What's going on, Josh?
Not much. Another Sunday full of the band we're going to talk about this week.
Sunday fun day, better than a Monday. Yeah.
Before you get into anything, Curtis.
Yes, I was waiting for this. I have no clue what's about to happen.
I had a little runner because, as you may know, we've got another show now. Well, you've got another show now on our network here.
I do.
And it is called The History of the Course After Hours. It is basically this show after the fact. You could say after hours, after the fact, where you go through with Eric and you talk about some of the bands that we've talked about, get a different perspective on things. And I've noticed that it's more of a it's the funner show. It's the funner show because on this one we have to break down all the history and go through all the BS with each of these bands. But in that show, you just get to highlight like the little, awesome
little highlights
and the cool stuff. So, so a lot of people when they listen to a show, they might want to leave a comment. They might want to comment on something that you've said, but they can't get their words across. They can't get in touch with you to say those things.
Oh, you want to get it out our personal phone numbers? Is that what you want, or
no? I'm just gonna make some comments about the other show.
Oh boy,
because I can, because I have the platform of the other show to do that.
Here we go. Now, is this gonna be good or bad? I'm scared.
I got 5 here. I got 5 to go through.
5 bullet points.
Before I do this, I would like to do this regularly because I think it's a good time.
Okay.
But before I go into this, know that these are all in good fun. Like we're all just having a laugh here,
We're having a good time.
We're just having a good time. So I'm gonna roll through these real quick. Number 1, Job for a Cowboys actually put out several good albums since you stopped listening them around the Genesis era. So fuck you. You made fun of Eric for calling the Under Oath album The Grand Line. Be careful, Glass House, because you thought Periphery was Perry Ferry. I love the term nickel.
Hey, I owned up to that, man. I owned up to that one.
This is something I liked. I love the term nickelcore for dad rock and what I would also call butt rock. Impending Doom is not Christian black metal. That doesn't make any sense. Those two things don't go together. And the name of the album that I was trying to purchase at the time of the story you were telling was called Baptized in Filth. So that made it extra weird to ask for that album.
It's just weird in general that Mardell's had that.
And then the last
I mean,
one
think
I've
about
got-
like the stock boy that's putting that up. You're like, what? All right.
The last one I've got for you, the only good Memphis Mayfire albums were Sleepwalking and The Hollow. Everything other than that was garbage.
Oh boy. Okay. That's Joshua's commentary on the history of the Corrs after
Well-
hours.
We'll come up with a fun little name for that segment.
After hours.
Oh,
That was just for you. Ooh.
I like that. I wasn't expecting that.
Wow, that was I have a headache.
I was
I
dying.
was laughing so hard.
I
That was
dying
hilarious.
when you were making fun of him for saying the album was The Grand Line. I immediately was just like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Let's all just back up here real quick. But hey, I have called myself out several times, episodes after that one, for saying periphery instead of periphery. If you'll recall, there were several times I said, "Hey, this band periphery," and you're like, "No, it's periphery." So I am having fun with myself. I still look back at that one and laugh every once in a while, and then I
Yeah.
think, "What the hell is wrong with me?" But
So I hope you enjoyed that.
that's beautiful. It's like
Eric,
that's
I
gonna
also
become
hope you
a
enjoyed that.
that's gonna become a weekly segment. Okay.
Yep.
Beautiful. Hey, everybody has their opinions, right? Everybody has their opinions.
Yep.
What
I
was
just get to say
the-
mine?
Yeah, and we all have to listen. I mean, unless you just want to hit the skip button to,
Yeah.
I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes into the actual
No, but
episode.
They're all done in good fun. Some
What was the third one? Something about nickel core? What was
facts
that?
there. Yeah.
I don't remember
I
that.
heard Eric use the term nickel core, and he said that was everything that was played on one of our local radio stations. He didn't know if it was Nickelback or just some other nickel core type band.
Gotcha. Look at this photograph. Yes.
Look at this treasure map.
Beautiful. You're gonna have to come up with a name for that segment, and
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
come up
we'll,
with
we'll
one.
make that into a daily thing. That's awesome. Appreciate it for that. Thank you so much, Josh.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, you ready to get into this one, dude? We're gonna start a new band here.
I'm ready. Can
We
we talk
are,
about Alexis on Fire? I've been
we
dying
are,
to talk
man.
about Alexis on Fire.
All right, Charlie. Yeah, we're gonna continue our Canadian invasion, as we are calling it.
We
I'm
need
kind
a
of
Canadian
hoping,
invasion soundbite.
huh?
I
We
said
need a Canadian invasion.
Canadian invasion soundbite.
Yeah, we'll have to get one. I think you said it several times in the last couple of episodes, so we'll have to get off of that. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this is becoming a theme for a little bit, and like the next few bands that we talk about will probably be Canadian also, because I don't know why not. But anyway, we're gonna get through.
Next one's my pick, right?
Yeah,
The one I was thinking of, like already. I'm pretty sure they're Canadian too.
who?
Comeback Kid.
Yup, they are. Perfect. And I was just thinking about that today too, so why not? But anyway, before we get to Comeback Kid, we've got Alexisonfire. Woo! Do we got Alexisonfire? All right, Alexisonfire. Alexisonfire. Genre Alexisonfire is post-hardcore, emo, melodic hardcore, and screamo. Do you remember the first instance that you came across the band Alexisonfire, Josh?
Might have been my friend Pruitt Nance that I told you about. He was really big on Alexis on Fire.
Do you remember like what your first song or album?
No, the first album was it might have been the self-titled that I heard anything off of. Crisis was the first one that I had actually like
Big, yeah.
really, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think most people probably their big entry point for Alexisonfire is Crisis probably.
Yeah.
That's what mine was. At
That's
least.
like 2006, right?
Yes, yeah. And
Okay.
their self-titled was 2002.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Alrighty, well, let's dive on into it. Formed in late 2001 in St. Catharines, Ontario, which is actually just northwest of Buffalo near Niagara Falls, after a 3-band breakup. George Petit played guitar, right? 3 bands made into one. George Petit played guitar in a metal band called Condemning Salem. Dallas Green did vocals
like
and
that.
played guitar. Condemning Salem.
That's a good band
That's a
name.
nice little name. Dallas Green did vocals and played guitar in Helican Blue. And Wade McNeil and Chris Steele both played in a punk rock band called Plan 9. Now, these 4 friends joined together in the aftermath of each of their bands breaking up to form the one and only Alexis on Fire. And then soon the band would find a drummer, one Jesse Ingelevics, to join. So here's your first official lineup, Josh. We got George Petit on unclean vocals, Dallas Green on clean vocals / guitar, Wade McNeil on guitar / backing vocals, Chris Steele on bass, and Jesse Ingelevics on drums. Any idea at all, Josh? I would love to know, maybe like a guess. I mean, unless you know it, where did the name Alexis on Fire come from?
I have no idea.
Shoot me a guess, Josh. Just give me some time to guess.
They all had a friend whose name was Alexis or Alex, and he burned alive.
Oof, that's rough. No.
Where else are you supposed to go with that? It's literally in the name.
Right. No, actually, the name Alexis on Fire is derived from the adult film actress Alexis Fire.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Apparently, the actress caught wind of the band's use of her name and planned to sue. But turns out that name was never registered and the suit was dropped. Score 1 for Alexis on Fire. Screw you, adult film actress. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting because I guess I never really gave it any thought to like why, like where that name came from. But just you kind of look at it and you're just kind of like, that just seems kind of like a simple name where it's just like, hey, I don't know, Alexis on Fire. This dude's on fire, or that girl's on
rarely
fire.
put
You know,
any thought into where a band's name comes from. Like most of
I
the
do.
time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of wonder sometimes, like, well, I wonder, like, how'd you come up with that? You know, sometimes it's just like lyrics from the song. Did you know that? Fun fact for you, Josh. Did you know that Between the Buried and Me's name came from a Counting Crows song?
Which one?
I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you right off the top of my head. I forget, but apparently it's from a lyric in one of their songs.
Huh.
Yeah, weird. Alrighty, so yep, that's how they got their name. 2002's Math Sheets Demo, which is a self-release, starts off our discography here. Produced by Adam Hendershot. And the name of the demo actually comes from the CD being wrapped in drummer Jesse Ingelevics' math homework. What kind of math homework? Algebra? Geometry? Who knows? Songs on this album include... I love this name of this first track. I don't know how you feel about it, but the philosophical significance of shooting my sister in the face. An essay by James Secord. It's like,
what is that?
The name of the first track is called The Philosophical Significance of Shooting My Sister in the Face, an essay by James Secord.
Which album is this?
The Math Sheets Demo.
I did not see that on there.
Yeah, it's the very first one. Very first track on that album. You also have Counterparts and Number Them, which would be re-recorded for the next album, and Little Girls Pointing and Laughing, which would also be re-recorded for their next album. So did you get to listen to this album at all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't remember seeing that title track?
No, I listened to this album, and I guess maybe I just wasn't paying attention when that popped up.
Yeah, that one's on there. What's Oh no, I'll ask you that later because we're just not getting into it. So, what'd you think of their first little demo? I mean, it
It's
sounds like a
good.
demo.
I mean, these first couple. Oh, okay. I just didn't see it. Like it probably popped up with like the first 4 or 5 words, like it does, and I didn't see the rest of it. Yeah, the
Okay.
philosophical significance. Yeah. Um, the first couple albums, do they remind you a lot of the changing of times?
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to figure out, especially with George's unclean vocals. I was trying to figure out who he sounded like, and every once in a while, in my brain, it made me think of Fall of Troy's unclean vocals from like the early years. But I could almost see like Dallas Taylor's too, off of Changing Times. Is that what
Yeah.
you're thinking, kind of, with like
Hmm.
the vocals at least?
Yeah.
You think musically too?
Yeah. I mean, relatively.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Um, it definitely made me think of something, and I was trying to like, dig through my brain to try to figure out, okay, well, like, what did it sound like? And like I said, it especially with his vocals, it sounded at times like early unclean vocals from Fall of Troy. But yeah, I liked it. Like I said, you can tell it's a demo. Um, One thing is like, especially with these first two albums, this demo and then their self-titled, like Dallas Green's voice, his singing voice, like it does not sound like him at all to me. At least from like the Dallas Green that I know from like later Alexisonfire releases and his solo project of City and Color. So I mean, I don't know how old he was at this time, but I mean, obviously he's young, a lot younger than what he is, now and such. But they're definitely they're finding themselves. I feel like in these first two releases, and even going into Watch Out, they're starting to get into a certain direction, but they're still trying to like find it out.
Yeah.
So
Definitely in the next album, you can see that sound that's there later. And what's
right,
funny is like while his vocals, are kind of building over these next couple albums, um, what's his face doing?
George
Yeah, doing the
doing the
clean
unclean, yeah.
vocals. No, doing the clean.
Oh, doing the clean, Dallas, yeah,
Yeah. Um, it's really like defined, like super defined by the self-titled. Like when
right.
he comes in, it's just like, whoa. You
Well,
tell
and
like
you can
he's
you just like can't really hear it on this one. Again, I credit that to being a demo. Who knows what their microphone situation was? I mean, they may all just be recording in one shot together, but
yeah.
I mean, you could barely hear him on this album at all. And even when he did, like I said, it didn't even sound like Dallas Green to me. But yeah, you definitely get more of it on the next one, and then I feel like by the time you get to Watch Out, I'm like, okay, that sounds like Dallas Green to me. So
Yeah. This
alrighty,
one
that's
has
two.
like this one just has like lame artwork too. Like most of their albums have cool artwork,
Yeah.
but
Well, like I said, it comes from, or the name of the demo comes from the CD being wrapped in the drummer's math homework. So I guess they just basically used that as the artwork too,
yeah,
just to keep with the name. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Just simple, just trying to get your name out there. So
just a demo.
it's just a demo. What do you want from us? It's just a demo. Yep, that is 2002's Math Sheets demo. Now, this demo garnered the attention of production engineer Greg Below and journalist from Montreal, Mitch Joel, founders of Distort Records. If you'll remember, or if you recognize the name Greg Below, he was actually talked about in our last couple episodes where we talked about the band Cancer Bats because he's done work with that band before. The duo were actually looking for talent for their new record label, and Alexisonfire fit the bill. Along with owning Distort Records, Greg Below was also working with EMI Records, which at that time at least was a big major label. And with him working for them, it allowed the band to record at EMI Studios and have a co-publishing and distributing agreement with the Big Names company. So you get to be on Distort Records, but you get the marketing and distributing help of a big studio like or a recording label as EMI. Which takes us into the first full-length album, 2002's self-titled Alexis on Fire from Distort Entertainment in in Distort Entertainment in Canada, Equal Vision Records in the United States, and Defiance Records in the European places. Produced by Greg Below, who again did Cancer Bats, Hail Destroyer, and also produced by the band members of Alexisonfire. One thing I'm going to go ahead and say is every album from here on out, Alexisonfire members are part of the production company. So you'll hear me say Alexisonfire. That's what I mean. Though distributed through EMI, the album actually garnered more attention through word of mouth. So definitely the fans of the band are liking what they're hearing, and they're spreading the word, getting the word out. This album would actually be remastered and re-released in 2014. We'll get to talk about that in our next episode. Later in 2015, NME would list this album as one of the, quote, 20 emo albums that have resolutely stood the test of time. Yeah. 3 years. Would you agree with that, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, like, I don't know, when you think,
I
like,
should have looked up that list. I would have been interested to see what the other 19 were.
yeah, that would have been good. Especially for the time. I mean, 2002.
Yeah, 2002. I can't think of anything else right at that time. It's like My Chemical Romance. Well, what's their first album come out? Was that 2002 or 2003? Not Bullets. Was it Bullets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullets was 2003.
Okay.
Because Three Cheers was 2005, I think.
I think you're right, yeah. 5. Yeah. 3 years after the release of the self-titled album, their album would become certified gold in Canada, marking 50,000 sales. And 7 years after its release, the album would be certified platinum in Canada, marking 100,000 sales. That's just for their debut album. I mean, that's going to be a reoccurring thing for these next few albums, is albums going gold and platinum. This is a big band in Canada. In terms of like the United States, I mean, I don't know how many people like really like it here, and we'll talk about Spotify numbers and everything throughout this episode next. But I mean, they're one of the biggest bands in Canada. I think that's an easy fact. But yeah, what do you got number wise Spotify, Josh?
Well, before I tell you that, I was just gonna amend myself real quick.
Okay.
Bullets probably would have also been on that list because it was 2002.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Three Cheers was 2004, so we were like a year,
Okay.
ahead of each of those. So.
Okay.
Numbers for the self-titled.
Let me go through the song list here real quick. We got 44 Caliber, Love Letter. You got Counterparts and Number Them. Adaletta, I guess that's how you say that. A Dagger Through the Heart of St. Angeles. Polaroids of Polar Bears. Say that about 10 times fast. Water Wings and Other Poolside Fashion Faux Pas. Where No One Knows. The Kennedy Curse. I don't know why, but I always thought of you when I hear that song, The Kennedy Curse, at least reading that title. Jabella, Little Girls Pointing and Laughing, and the finale, Pulmonary Archery. What do you got number-wise, Josh?
5 million on the opening track.
Whew!
Drops down to just a little under 2 million, then under 1 million, back to 1 million. Goes
Only
back
a
up.
million? Only?
Yeah, goes back up to 2 million on Water Wings. Million, little under. Pulmonary Archery has almost 4 million. So first and
Nice.
last are by far the highest. My favorite track on this one is Dagger Through the Heart of St. Angeles, though.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I want to go and say right now, I mean, out of all the ones that we've listened to so far, album-wise, I haven't found a bad song, to be honest with you. I'm not. I
No.
mean, there's not one that I'm just like, yeah, I can skip that or whatever. I mean, all three of these albums that we're going to talk about in this episode are easily, you can turn it on and play it from front to back, and just not even skip a beat.
Yeah.
I love that little part in when I first was listening to this album. This past week, just get ready for this episode, the 44 caliber love letter. It caught me off guard when like it kind of like everything stopped and you just hear him. I'm guessing it's George. I don't know. He said something about this is a 44 caliber love letter straight from my heart or something like that. It just like came out of nowhere. I was like, what the heck was that? But yeah, counterparts and number I'm good. I mean, just like I said, all of them. Polaroids of polar bears. That one, the intro part to it with like the way the guitar is, and then like even before like the music really picks up and the vocals come in, it makes me think of like, and you may not understand this, but like it makes me think of like an Explosions in the Sky song, or even like We Lost the Sea, which is like post rock, like instrumental rock, where it's like it tells a story with the instruments. There's no vocals at all. And it's just kind of like that kind of ethereal kind of soundscape. And then, but yeah, then it just kind of came into the song, and I was like, okay. But it was a good one. I really liked that. But yeah, like I said, there's just not a bad song on any of these albums. It's easily put them on and just let it go. So.
They
What
put
say
out
you, Josh?
good summertime albums.
I do, yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. I do. What say you,
Yeah.
Josh? Anything else?
No, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. There's not anything that I wanted to skip on here, and I think the top couple for me are going to be Dagger Through the Heart of St. Angeles, and actually, I really like Pulmonary Archery too.
That's a good one, yeah. That's a good closing track,
Yeah.
for sure. Alrighty, it's 2002's self-titled debut album. Success from their debut album saw the band tour Canada, America, and even Europe. And in 2004, the band would win an award for Best Music Video for their song, Pulmonary Archery, at the Canadian Independent Music Awards. Another theme, too, in this episode and the next one, where we talk about Alexisonfire, is a lot of awards to go along with those gold, certified golds and certified platinums. The band was also named Favorite Indie Band at the Caspi Awards, and their song Counterparts and Number Them was nominated for Best Independent Video at the Much Music Video Awards. All right, here we go. Let's talk about that album that's sitting right behind you there, Josh. 2004's Watch Out from Distort Entertainment in Canada, not California, Canada. Equal Vision, in the United States, and Sorepoint Records in Europe. You'll recognize this name, I think, because I thought we talked about him on the last, maybe not. Produced by Julius Juice Bode, who has done work with City and Color, Protest the Hero, and Black Lungs. Of course, City and Color is Dallas Green side project, and Black Lungs is actually a side project by guitarist Wade McNeil. And once again, Alexisonfire, the members, also helped in the production of this album. This album debuted at number 6 on the Nielsen Soundscape Top 100. Sold 6,000 copies in the first week. Received certified gold status in Canada after 12 weeks of sales. Just 12 weeks. Wow. Received platinum status 3 years after its release. And this album is actually noted as a departure from their debut album. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a departure from their last album?
Not really.
Okay, I didn't really think so either, but I'll throw that in there and see what Josh thinks.
I feel like everything up until Crisis kind of sounds the same-ish, you
I
know?
feel like, yeah, and I was about to say, I feel like once you get into like Old Crows and Young Cardinals, it starts to kind of take a change a little bit. I mean, you compare that to like their debut, it's like, yeah, it's a little different, you know?
Yeah.
And I haven't listened to their newest album. I don't know if you have, but I've heard it's like different from like any of their other stuff. So I don't
No,
find
the one
out.
from last year.
Mhm,
No, I
yeah,
haven't listened to
otherness.
that yet.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So kind of like what you're talking about earlier. I feel like, to me, this is my personal take, and maybe you can give me yours too, but I feel like this album right here is where Alexis on Fire's sound up to now, where we're at in like 2023, and like listening to Crisis and Old Crows, Young Cardinals a lot. I feel like this is where they really get that sound. I feel like the vocals, both clean and unclean, from Dallas and George, I feel like they found their spot. You know what I mean? I feel like this
Yeah.
is where it starts to get consistent with like the next few albums, and like from there on, you watch their live stuff, it sounds the same to me vocally, and I even feel like style wise, vocally, that yeah, that they've got it. Like I said earlier, I feel like this is the album where I'm like, yes, that sounds like Dallas Green to me, and I feel like George really found his sweet spot in his unclean vocals. I think it's everybody gets with, if you're doing unclean vocals. Your first like album or two or demo or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna sound super raw because you're just doing it. You're just going as hard as you can. You're not really just like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You got an opinion on that?
On what? The album? Or...
Just on this album up to this point, like their style and everything.
Yeah, this feels like we talk about a lot, those transition albums, like the one where it's like it
That's a good
still
word for
sounds like the ones before it, and you can feel that like new sound coming, like
You
in
can tell they're taking a step.
in retrospect, you can hear it when you hear the next album.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just feel like, not that their last album was bad production. It was obviously it was better than their demo, but you can definitely tell like each album that we're talking about in this episode, from their debut to Watch Out to Crisis, it's like it's a step up in production every single time. So yeah, you were right though. This is, I think, a transition album. I think that's a good term for it, for sure. And finally, this is the final album with drummer Jesse Engelvics. Good thing is, that's our one and only member change. I don't know if we've ever had one that we only had one member change.
Good on
Surely
these
we have.
guys.
Yeah. They're close, they're tight. For sure. Songs on this album include Accidents, Control, It was fear of myself that made me odd. Sidewalk when she walks. Hey, it's your funeral, mama. No transitory. Sharks in danger. That girl possessed. That girl possessed. White devil. Get fighted. And the finale, Happiness by the Kilowatts. What you got number wise, Josh, for Spotify, and what is also your opinion on this sophomore album?
13 million on Accidents.
On accident. Oh, I thought you were saying 13 million by accident. I was like, what?
No.
13 million on accidents. It's a good song. It's a good
Yeah.
opener.
This is one of their more listened to albums. Controls 4 million, Fear Myself 3, Sidewalk When She Walks 40 or 4. 3, 4. It only dips a little bit around Sharks in Danger for a couple tracks, and it goes back up to 3 million. So, and then, I mean, just by comparison, Crisis. God damn, Crisis has
They
some
murder it on Crisis, don't they?
Yeah, some pretty big numbers. This Could Be Anywhere is 43 million.
That's like their biggest song, I think, anywhere, every throughout their whole discography.
Yeah, it's also
I mean,
on Taste of Chaos.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that made its rounds. So
for sure. Yep.
I really like this one. The album artwork is good too. It reminds me of some old AFI albums.
Yeah.
All Hallows, Art of Drowning, Black Sails and Sunset, Very Proud of You, all those. So
Very interesting. What do you think's going on in that album artwork?
it looks like a horror movie poster,
Yeah.
you know,
That's what I was thinking.
like an 80s Fright Night type thing.
It's Fright Nights.
Probably my favorite track on this one is going to be Sidewalk When She Walks.
Girl.
I like that one. What about you?
Girl. Oh man. I like Accidents and
Accidents is
Control.
good.
Accidents is
good.
really good opener, man.
But again, like I
know
struggled
it-
a lot, like thinking of what my favorite songs are on these, because like you said, you just hit play, you roll through the whole album,
You're
and
just
they're all
good.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself not looking up an actual song. I just end up finding myself looking up an entire album and just
Yeah.
listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know it takes a little bit of dip, but I do like Sharks in Danger.
Okay.
Saying it takes a dip in terms of the Spotify numbers and everything. Yeah, I mean, just again though, it's just another album that you just pop it in and you just go, man. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your time. Enjoy the next 40 minutes of Alexisonfire.
Enjoy
Yeah, it's
a
good. It's a good
consistently
one, man.
40-minute Alexisonfire
I was
album.
about to say, like every one of their albums, at least in this episode, I don't remember the last two full length. I don't remember what they were, but yeah, these first three are like anywhere between like 41 and 43, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird, like how some of these bands just like consistently stay at that same like number, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, are you doing that on purpose or is that just like a happy accident?
I mean, that's probably
No.
kind of what they're shooting for.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. 2004's sophomore album. Watch out. Success.
Wow.
Watch out. I know this is going to be hard to believe, Josh, but Success, once again, from their sophomore album, would see the band expand their brand, playing such festivals as Vans Warped Tour, Reading and Leeds Festival, and the Summer Sonic Festival in Japan. Like I said, Jesse on drums would be leaving and replaced by Jordan Hastings, who was actually in a band, a ska punk band named Jersey. And just like how we got Alexisonfire in the beginning, Jordan's band Jersey had just broken up and he was looking for a new band to join. It's weird. Alexisonfire is born from bands just breaking up. It's interesting.
Yeah, but arguably, probably a lot of bands are born that way.
That's true. That's true. The music video for Accidents won Best Independent Video at the Much Music Awards show. And they would also be nominated for a People's Choice Award Favorite Canadian Group. And then they won a New Group of the Year at 2005's Juno Awards. All right. I know we say this on almost every episode, but Josh, we like split EPs, don't we?
We do like split EP. Oh, I like a good split EP. I don't know.
I
About
like
you.
it.
I like a good.
I
split EP.
love a good. I don't like. I love a good split EP. I love it. How about 2005's The Switcheroo series? Alexisonfire versus Monine from Die Alone Records in Canada and Vagrant Records in the United States. Produced by both bands, Alexisonfire and Monine. Have you ever heard of Monine before, Josh, before this episode?
No, not until this album.
They are an indie rock, post-hardcore, and emo band from Brampton, Ontario. And then this album is actually going to be the first recordings that have Jordan Hastings on drums. Songs on this album include Passing Out in America, which is a cover by Alexisonfire of Monine's song, The Passing of America. You have Accidents Are on Purpose, which is Monine covering Alexisonfire's Accidents. Tonight I'm Going to Wash the Hippie, which is Alexisonfire covering Monine's Tonight I'm Gone. Sharks in Danger, which is Monine covering Alexisonfire's Sharks in Danger. And then we have two originals here. We have Bleed and Blister, version 2, which is Monine doing original, and Charlie Sheen versus Henry Rollins, which is an original by Alexisonfire. We both never heard of Monine before this. What did you think of Monine as a band?
They're okay. I don't know if I would.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. I haven't listened to, besides this one original that's on here. I haven't listened to anything outside of them, but I was interested. I know when we were talking about Watch Out, I know I said I liked both Accidents and Sharks in Danger. I like both covers by Monine, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. I like Accidents by Alexisonfire. I like that version, but I think I almost like Monine's cover better.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the way like their style is on it, and then like the way that they end it. I just really like that.
Okay.
That's just my style. I mean, that's how I like it and everything. But I don't really find any songs on this. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of like Charlie Sheen versus Henry Rollins, but it was still good. I mean, this is still an album that I put on and listened to, several times. Front to back. I do like Alexisonfire's cover of The Passing of America. And Sharks in Danger. Monine covering Alexisonfire's Sharks in Danger. I thought that was a good one too. The way that they were screaming razor wire at the very end there was pretty funny too. He's like, razor wire.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Josh, of the old Switcheroo series?
It was good. I liked this one. I kind of liked it, them flip-flopping bands instead of like one band doing 3 tracks, the next band doing 3 tracks.
Right.
I kind of liked the back and forth. It was kind of like a battling.
It was good. Yeah.
Type thing.
Which I think that's what they're trying to do with the whole, Alexisonfire versus Monine. Yeah, it's a good way to set it up for a split, for sure. They did a really good job of that.
Yeah, I mean, as with all split EPs or EPs done down the road, numbers are usually a little lower.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, 6 million, 3 million, 5, 1, 1, 8. So
only 6 million? Are you serious?
I'm sorry. I always do this once we get to the lower number ones. These are 100,000. 6,
Oh, I was
3,
about to say, I
5,
was like,
1,
what?
1, 8.
What are
Yeah.
you talking about? And then I was like, you got through it. And I'm like, was he being sarcastic or what's happening? Because those are some big numbers. It's only 6 million. Only
Yeah.
1 million. It's like,
No,
okay.
600,000.
Yeah. Okay.
600,000.
Well, and I'm sure like these splits are not as like accessible as like just your standard, full length album,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could just go look it up on YouTube, but it's not promoted as much
I'm also
as,
too, I'm just like,
your debut.
it always confuses me a little bit because I'm like, if you're a fan, like you want to listen to all their stuff,
Right.
or at least like seek it out and give it a shot. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like you were saying, it's probably just not as known about. What
Yeah.
is that?
I
You
was
fucking
wondering if
with
you could
me?
hear that or not. No, it's all good. I don't know. I don't know what you're hearing. I don't know. I don't hear anything. Alrighty, that's the old Switcheroo series from
The
2005.
switcheroo.
The old Switcheroo. I done done to pull the Switcheroo on us. 2005. Alexisonfire versus Monine. Now, Josh, we get to some meat. Some meat in this burger. 2006's Crisis from Distort Entertainment in Canada and Vagrant Records in the United States. Produced once again by Julius Buddy, who actually contributes backing vocals on This Could Be Anywhere in the World, and members of Alexisonfire. First full-length album with drummer Jordan Hastings. It actually sold 20,000 copies. 20,000 copies, Josh, in the first week of its release. Whoo, doggy. Because I think gold, certified gold, I think it's 50,000. So I mean, you're already almost like halfway there in 1 week. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
9 months. 9 months after its release, Josh. 9 months. It became certified platinum.
What?
Higher than gold. In
Oh, God.
Canada. Well, that's what you looked like. So, in 2018, the single alone, Josh, This Could Be Anywhere in the World, by itself became certified gold in Canada. The single
The
in
single.
2018 in Canada. Gold. That's gold, Jerry. Gold.
That's gold, Jerry.
For the release show, the
Certified
band-
platinum.
There you go. My gosh. Oh boy. For the release show,
Let's
Josh,
throw a
instead of just-
goddamn party.
instead of just you're gonna need that party hat. Keep it there. But instead, oh, what happened? Come on, bring the party hat back. For the release show, jeez, can I get through this fact here or not?
You tell me.
Oh God. Okay, for the release show, any normal band would just go play in a venue, right? No, not Alexisonfire. They're gonna play on a party boat on the River Thames in London, England.
On the Thames?
On the Thames. Okay. I'm gonna get your. I'm gonna ask you, Josh. What's up with that album artwork? Do you know what's going on?
Is it the Elephant Man?
No.
Oh.
It's a good guess. That's a good guess, though.
He has frostbite.
He does. He does have frostbite. Good answer. The album
I've-
artwork is a picture of a victim of frostbite, which actually occurred during the blizzard of 1977 in old southern Ontario.
Yeah.
And that is actually referenced in the title track Crisis on the album. And actually, I thought I had the album, but I can't find it anywhere. But the little booklet that comes with the lyric booklet, it's actually full of pictures of victims of frostbite and different injuries during that blizzard of 1977. So that's wonderful.
Oh my God.
Because we all want to see that and
Yeah.
get really depressed. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I knew somebody
Uh,
who got really bad frostbite one time,
Really?
and yeah, it is like that. Their hands like swelled up like balloons, and they're like purple and black. Yeah,
Did they
brutal.
lose any part of their hands?
I don't know.
Because they died.
Yeah, I mean, this is just somebody that I
Oh,
knew. They weren't like necessarily a friend.
oh, gotcha. Well, you could say you know this guy, but you don't really know him. All right, so many have actually deemed this album as important as its influences were found on other bands' albums, such as, and not limited to, Silverstein's Arrivals and Departures. It's a pretty good album. I don't know. This next album's not too bad. I guess it's all right. Hail Destroyer from Cancer Bats.
Oh, that one's okay. That one's all right, I
Maybe
guess.
maybe episode 17, 18, 19 of the History Course podcast. Go check it out.
Cancer,
All about
cancer bats, was it? Cancer bats?
Cancer Bats.
Huh.
I don't know what they're trying to say there.
I don't know if I've
Hail
ever even heard of
Destroyer?
that band.
Well, maybe you should go check out the episode Cancer Bats on the History of the Course podcast.
No, my Spotify
These
knows me too well. At the end of each
Oh
one
my
of
gosh.
these albums, it served up Pneumonia Hawk. Like
Nice.
at the end of every single
Nice.
Alexisonfire album, it was like, and now you want to hear Pneumonia Hawk, don't you?
Trust me, you want
You
some
know what?
pneumonia.
I do. I do. Play it again. Play it again.
Oh man, we also have We Are the Oceans, Cutting Our Teeth, 4 Years Strong, in some way, shape, or form. Songs on this album include Drunks, Lovers, Sinners, and Saints. This could be anywhere in the world. Mailbox Arson. Boiled Frogs, We Are the Sound, You Burn First, which features Garrett O'Donnell of Planes Mistaken for Stars. There's also We Are the End, Crisis, Keep It on Wax, To a Friend, Rough Hands, and we got a couple of bonus tracks here, Josh. We got My God is a Reasonable Man, and we have Thrones. What'd you think of 2006's Crisis?
Well, first of all, I didn't get the bonus track version, so that's
Me either. I forgot to listen to those.
sad for me. Which 4 Year Strong album did you say?
In some way, shape, or form.
Okay. That's a good one. And I did,
Yep.
as quick as you said them, I just wanted to shout out them real quick. If you're looking for a good
Shout out.
pop punk band, 4 Year Strong is a good go-to. They're super,
Nice.
super technical for like their style, you know? They got a lot going on there. So
Like technical, like almost math rock technical, or
not really. There's just a lot more going on than in
than just like your
your,
normal pop
I would
punk?
say your
Okay.
typical, yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Crisis. This is my favorite Alexisonfire album.
Really?
I really do like Young Cardinals, but the Crisis is where it's at. It's in that
Okay.
sweet spot for me too. Like
Well,
of
it is 2006.
yeah,
So
2006. Still to this day, one of my favorite memes will be the Winds of Plague album art that says my calendar says it's like 2019, but I'm still on that 2008 shit.
nice.
So, um, but yeah, this is in the sweet spot for me for sure. So there's a lot of nostalgia attached to this album, but listening to it today, I mean, this is the first time I've listened to this album all the way through in years for sure.
Right. Yeah.
But listening to it today, like, kind of heard it a little bit differently. I did decide that Drunks, Lovers, Sinners, and Saints had to be before This Could Be Anywhere in the World.
Oh, it has to be.
Like, if
I
they
mean,
had
the
tried,
transition into that song, dude, is
right?
yeah,
If
it's
they had
horrific.
tried to make This Could Be Anywhere in the World like the number one track, I don't think it would have played nearly as well.
No, I don't think so either.
And it's hard to pick off this album again because every one of them hits so well for me.
Just turn it on and play, man. Just let it play.
Yeah. The first two tracks, obviously, like those are great for me, are gonna be the most standout.
Right.
We Are the Sound. Um, I really like Keep It on Wax. I
That's
don't
a
know
good one.
why. I do. I like that one. Um, Rough Hands. They usually end their albums pretty strong, or at least it's not
They
like
know
a
how to do it.
letdown track, you know?
Yeah, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's like besides, I would say besides Burial on Young Cardinals, like all three of these albums that we talked about in this episode, like it doesn't like I always find myself like looking and go, wait, was that the last song? Because I mean, like you can kind of tell it like the way they hit it at the very end there, but like then at the same time, it doesn't. It almost feels like oh no, they're just about to transition to another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they always end good for sure.
I would say also if you're enjoying what you're hearing so far from Alexis on Fire, I would say it's possible, it's just kind of a recommendation. It's possible you could also like another band. Well, this is terrible. No, it's gonna get away from me.
All right, on to the next thing. Uh,
And here we go.
did you seriously forget?
Yes.
Dang, dude. Yeah, I like.
There's far too many bands rattling around up here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Amity Affliction.
Really? Okay.
Especially like some of their earlier stuff. I could see if you like Alexis on Fire, you could be into that.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. I mean, I know who they are, but I don't think
There's a
I've
lot of
ever
the
really
same
listened to it before.
elements, you've got your dirty and your clean, both very predominant. And musically, I think there's some similarities. Have you listened to any of Amity Affliction stuff?
No, that's what I was saying. I know the name, but I've never listened to them before.
Okay. I would say the Young Bloods album
Okay.
is really good. That's an early one.
Okay.
And then I want to say Ghosts was the one after that. Yeah, Chasing Ghosts.
Okay.
So, Young Bloods and Chasing Ghosts, and they're going to be like a little bit after this. So you could probably say like there could be some influence from Alexis on Fire
Alexis. Okay.
to Amity Affliction. I could definitely see that. And for them, that sweet spot really is going to be those two albums, Youngbloods Chasing Ghosts, and then Let the Ocean Take Me was the one after that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out for sure.
So do.
So do me money, give me money now. Yeah, it's again, it's just like I mean, obviously you have like the big number of, this could be anywhere in the world. No, there's no telling what the numbers are on this album. You kind of hinted at it earlier, but I'm sure they're astronomical, especially
They're
when you get to
pretty
that song. But
they're pretty high. They're not that far off though from Watch Out. It's a little
okay,
bit beefed
but
up
you
from
you
there.
but you can see the transition from every album so far, though, right? I mean, it's getting beefed up
Yeah.
for sure.
It starts with
Um,
5 for Drunks. Like I said, 43 million plays for This Could Be Anywhere in the World.
yeah,
I've got 3, 14, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 7. So, and their first and last tracks, a lot of times, are some of the higher plays. Um, and that's true on this album, except for This Could Be Anywhere and Boiled Frogs. Like those, the first and last are the highest played. So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
It's
what I'm looking
just
for a lot of the time. I'm looking for a band that starts strong and ends strong.
and
I don't want
ends
to hear an
strong.
album that like goes hard as hell the first 3 to 5 tracks and then slowly dies over the course of the rest of the album.
Or I have to wait till the middle. I mean, I have to get through the bun to get to the meat to finally hear something really good.
And then
And
back
then
to bun.
and then back to bun.
It should be an
And
all meat sandwich. There's no
like
bun.
like all meat,
Yeah.
not bun meat bun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just again, all three of these albums so far that we've talked about is just shut up, put them in, and sit back and relax and just let them play, man. Don't try to skip around. Just listen. Listen to the sound coming through your ear holes and enjoy. Enjoy that meat sandwich.
Enjoy the meat sandwich.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's 2006's Crisis. And that, Josh, is going to do it for this first episode. So our lineup up to this point is what it is. It's not going to change after this, but it's George Petit on unclean vocals, Dallas Green on clean vocals and guitar, Wade McNeil on guitar and vocals, Chris Steele on bass, and Jordan Hastings on drums. Any final comments, Josh, on the first 3 full-length albums from Alexisonfire? Or any of the other albums we talked about?
I wanted to say that
Oh boy.
these are going to be like the strongest part of their discography. But that being said, beyond Young Cardinals, I've really not listened to, like, I haven't listened to the Dog's Blood EP or Death Letter.
Well, so like Death Letter is just like acoustic stuff. Is acoustic
Ooh,
renditions.
okay.
So you can kind of throw that out.
That'll be fun.
It'll be good, yeah.
I
But in
really
terms
liked
of like
what
new stuff,
I really liked what Cancer Bats did with
that was
that.
good. That was some good stuff. Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
And then I guess other than that, we just have the most recent one.
Yeah, that's the only one that I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know, because I'm with you. It's like I think like all of their discography up to that point at least, because again the jury's out on that. We haven't even listened to that between the two of us. But I mean, they don't have a bad album. It's a good strong discography.
I'm scared to listen to this album.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, you're looking at the title,
Otherness.
album artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Huh.
Yeah,
Um,
but hey, it won an award, so
okay.
maybe.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
What's so which ones are we going to be covering next episode?
We're gonna cover the rest of the discography. So we got Young Cardinals, Old Crows, Young Cardinals, whatever. Um, Dog's Blood, Death Letter, and then Otherness. That's it.
Okay.
That's all they
There's
have
no other
left.
splits or anything.
Nope, that's it. They just
Okay.
had the one split. It was a good
Yeah.
split.
It
And
was
I'm
a
not
good
gonna lie,
split. It was a
it's
good
one of my
split.
favorite splits that we've done so far.
It was a good one.
It was a good one. But yeah, they don't. I mean, they don't really have a whole lot. Not like Cancer Bats or Touche Amore. It's like every other album had, or between every album, there was like 2 or 3 splits.
Yeah. I also want to start a barometer here. So
Oh
when
boy.
we're talking about other bands, we're talking about other bands that people were in before or whatever, just mentioning different band names. We're always talking about band names that were, what a band was called before they were Norma Jean, or whatever.
Luda.
Yeah, and right now for me, the top tier is Pianos Become the Teeth, like as far as epic band names go that we've talked
Okay.
about. So Pianos Become the Teeth. I would say, what was that one, like Revenge Against Salem or something like that, or
Oh, Condemning Salem.
Condemning Salem. That it's
Yeah,
up there,
that's a good
but
one.
it's
Yeah,
not overtaking Pianos Become the Teeth for me.
it's just
So
something about that name, man.
yeah, so that's our reigning champion right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll leave you up to that one. You're good. I think you're a good judge of uh, band names. So I'll leave that one up to you. All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Stay cool, kids. Don't do drugs.
I would say,
I feel like you're about to give us like a PSA with those sunglasses on. I don't know why. Hey, you know what you look like? You look like PC Principal.
yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, the most accessible album I think here is gonna be probably Crisis.
Yeah, I think that's an easy choice here.
Yeah. In the next block, without even knowing some of the others, I'm
Oh,
going to say it's probably Young Cardinals, but
easily Young Cardinals.
yeah.
Easily. No question. No question about it. Alrighty. Well, here we go. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at @IsSurvivedByPro for news and the latest episode postings. Not just on this show, Josh, but our other shows too, which includes our I'm trying to think what did you call it earlier? Or the after hours? You kind of called it something, I thought.
The after the fact.
The the after the fact.
After hours.
Ugh.
Yeah.
After
Ugh.
hours.
Yeah, so we have the History of the Course After Hours podcast where I sit down with my friend and avid listener Eric, talk about some of the bands that me and Josh have already talked about. It's kind of an interview type setting, and it's a lot more fun than this show. I mean, it's yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we have fun on this show, right?
Yeah,
Right?
come on over to the other show where we beat a dead horse.
Yeah, as if you didn't get enough of their the original episodes on History of the Course podcast, come listen to some more on the After Hours podcast. No, it's just kind of a unique way to get a perspective of somebody who's listening to our show, and somebody who may not have as much history with some of these bands. He knows some of them, but there's others that's like he just nice. Wow, that was really nice. But other ones, he just, he doesn't really know a whole lot about them. So he gets to kind of go on the journey too. And we get to see what he thinks about it as an avid listener of the show.
I've been enjoying it.
Good to hear. Hopefully everybody else is. We also have the Red Right Hand podcast, which is me and Josh sitting down. Especially those first couple of seasons, very cringy. But those last few seasons, pretty good. We're sitting down, we're talking about
maybe you like that. Maybe you like really cringy material.
Maybe you like that. I don't know. Maybe you laugh your head off at us. We sit down, we rewatch all 6 seasons of the BBC/Netflix hit show The Peaky Blinders. And we also have the Throne of the Dragon podcast, which so far has covered season 1 of the House of the Dragon, soon to be season 2 when it gets around here. And currently we are doing Aegon's Conquest. Status update. Where are we at?
I'm pretty much done. So that'll be coming pretty soon. Yeah.
Stay tuned for part 2 of Aegon's Conquest from the House.
It's the Dornish Wars.
Ooh. Hey, also while you're on Twitter, make sure to follow my co-host at Joshua Lynn Gary. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review, write us a comment on whatever podcast service you're using. And if you want to listen to us and see our smiling faces, head on over to our YouTube page. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. Stop. I'm freaking out. Oh boy. Just head on over to our YouTube page. Just search Is Survived by Productions, and that'll have every episode from all of our shows. Subscribe to the channel and thumbs up the video. Anything else, Josh? Did I miss anything?
I think you've said it all.
Appreciate it, Puff the Magic Dragon. Alrighty, we'll see you in the next episode where we finish up our look at Alexisonfire Part 2. We'll see you then.
See you.